Good afternoon, Talking After Dark family, and welcome back to another episode of Talking After Dark. I'm so excited about talking to you guys today and having this opportunity to meet and greet you guys where you are. I look forward to hearing back from you and commenting on the subject matters that we're talking about, and hey, keeping you guys focused on the process of finding that right relationship. So, how many of you guys out there have been successful in finding relationships of late? And how many of you guys are no longer out there on the market and just not looking anymore? You found what you're looking for, whether it's him or her or whatever the situation is. Look, just to reply and let me know. Hey, listen, you found somebody. Things are going really well. You guys having a good time, enjoying life, and getting to know your new partner. I'm so excited for you guys that have gone forward with the process and have met you somebody or someone that you willing to give an opportunity to get to know you and them getting to know you. With that being said, let's title this video, What Are You In For? Yes, what are you in for? So, when we're looking for relationships, we kind of have this idea of what we want or what we think we need. So a lot of people look for people who are in positions to, I don't want to say take care of them, but I want to say, the men will say that most women are looking for guys who have money, guys who have resources, good jobs, good income, great benefits, and able to offer them all of that so that they feel secure within what they're doing and what they want to do and how they want to dress, the $10,000 purses they want to wear on their arms, and the different outfits every time there's a football game or every time there's an event. They're able to go and buy something new. I don't know why that's really important, but I guess it is. And just those kind of things. But I want you guys to keep in mind that when it comes to a relationship, what you in it for and what you get out of it may not be all that bad in that moment, in that space. So let's say, for instance, a woman is 30, 40 years old, and she's looking for a guy with a great job, makes good money, great income, great benefits, nice house, nice car, and dresses really well, a man about the town, and she's excited about the fact that all of these things she has access to, and because he's in a position where he can have anybody he wants, and he chooses her. So, got it. So you end up in this relationship with this wonderful guy, and he has all of this stuff that you want. But there are so many single women out there. So many women, and there's so many who could want him just for who he is, not about all those other things, not about the benefits, not about that, because why? They have their own stuff, and they just looking for somebody that they can match things, pair things together with, and they can pursue a great life together. So ask yourself, if that man met that woman, would he be disconjoined with you to join forces with that person? Because at some point he feels like she's not using him. He's not always the giver and less of the taker, and that this person sees him for who he is and not who they want him to be. It's a very dangerous game when you choose people because of who you want them to be or who you need them to be, and you don't see them as who they are. It is very important that if you plan on staying in a relationship for a very long time, and hopefully if you guys get to the point that you get married, that it's a forever thing. It's not a temporal thing, but it's a forever thing. And in order for a relationship to be a forever situation, you have to be upfront and honest with yourself. You have to make sure that the love that you show and the love that you give is not because of what this person can do for you, but it's because you genuinely love this person. You love them if they had nothing. You love them because there is a connection, there is a bond, there is a friendship that has developed between the two of you guys, that if you guys were in the same house together, sitting on two different ends of the sofa, reading a book and reading the newspaper or watching the news, and you guys would still be okay without a word even being said to each other. You just want to be in the same space and place with each other. What an awesome place that is to be. That is real love and true love. It's not that you always have to be doing something. It's not that you have to be taken to every event and everything that's going on in town. Not that you always got to be the sharpest tool in the tool shed. You always got to outdress everybody at every event you go to. All of that is fine for a point. At the other point, it's going to get very old. It is going to get very old. You know, when people get in a relationship, in the beginning, it's always fun. It's great. It's exciting. It's incredible. You tell all your friends about this new person, all your relatives about this new person, and what they do for you and what you're able to do and how you're able to live. But 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, whatever it is down the line, when things are not what they used to be, when you're hanging on by a thread, what is it that you're going to have, or what is it about your relationship that is going to weather that storm for you, that is going to keep you together, that is going to be the tie that binds between the two of you? Or it cannot be because this person is a great provider. It cannot be because this person gives me things and does these things for me and makes me feel it. It can't be about that. It really can't, because every day, men are surrounded or meet women from here, there, and everywhere. Women meet men from here, there, and everywhere. If this guy is beautiful and attractive to you, he's beautiful and attractive to other people, other women as well. If you, the woman, if you are beautiful and attractive to him, and you are beautiful and attractive to other men as well, other people are going to approach you. Other people are going to offer you opportunities, whether you're married or not. A lot of times, people today, they just don't care. If they like you and they're interested in you, they are going to avail themselves to you in an unbelievable manner, because some people are just persistent. They determined. They want what they want, regardless of the odds, regardless of the situation. They think they're better than what you got at home, and they just might be, if you're giving them the opportunity. But if you committed and about where you are, about what you're doing, then of course it's wonderful and awesome to receive compliments and know that somebody else is interested in you. All that's good, and this sounds good and all that stuff. But you have to be in it for the right reason. Whether you be the man or whether you be the woman, you have to be in it for the right reason. It cannot be about what people are able to provide you with, what lifestyle they are able to afford you. Chances are, if you get with somebody for those kind of reasons, whether you be the man or be the woman, you are going to cheat on that person, because that person is not going to fulfill your greatest needs. They're going to fill your surface needs, but they're not going to fulfill your greatest need. You are going to have to get that from somewhere else. You know, King George has this song, and it's called, it's better to have two women or 3 women or 3 men, and whatever there might be. In some instances, that's what some relationships are like. You got a person who loves you the way you want to be loved. You got a person who sexes you up and breaks your back when you're intimate with them. You got another person who is just there at your beckoning call, that's ready, willing, and able to do whatever it is you want them to do. Now, if you got to have 3 people to be one, there is certainly one that's out there that will do it all. But that's the one that you're not giving the attention to, because you need all these other things. Because the one that you have is not these people. They might be one of them, but they're not all of them. So the likelihood that you're going to cheat is look at the numbers. It's really good that you are. It's really great that you are probably going to, because everybody, each of us have this thing inside of us that wants to be satisfied. We have this thirst that just wants to be quenched. We have this thing in us that we want to be satisfied, probably more intimately than in any other way. We could have the guy with the richest bank account in the world spending all the money buying us fine cars, fine clothes, wine and dining us all day, every day, and we could probably take that and do that for a while. But I can assure you that after a while, you are going to do likewise. And this is just not a man conversation. This is a bilateral conversation. This conversation is for women who are on that end, and there's for men who are on that end as well. I want you guys to holistically pursue relationships, but at our age, we should be pursuing relationships that are holistic, relationships that are about those things that are long lasting, not long suffering, but long lasting, because they give to us the ability to serve our greatest need, to fulfill those needs, to have in place, intact, all of that, what we want from the three in the one. It's not that hard. You just have to see life differently. Consider where you are in life. Consider what you want that picture to look like, and what is the best means of getting there. And means is the person. Who is the best person to get you there? Because whatever you bring to the table and whatever they bring to the table, if it's $10 each, that's 20. You can do a whole lot more with 20 than you can do with 10. So everybody has their own jobs, their own thing that they're doing, and whatever you guys bring together can create an environment that if you don't live above your means, that if you live where you are, you can find yourself in a great place and a great space. It doesn't always have to be about one person resources, but it should be about the two. One person may have all of the benefits that the family needs or the couple can need and use together. There's no sense in this person having all of the insurance and the pension and stuff, and this person too. You're spending money. You know, if you pool your resources together and add this one to that, to your account and that account, whether it's to be the medical account, to say whatever that is, but collectively, you can work that out, because on one end, you're saving money because you don't have to have it in two places, because you can pull it together and one person can carry all of the benefits that will be to make a better situation for the two. And that extra money becomes extra money. So it cannot be just about that. It really has to be about the whole person, the whole person. The woman that's every woman for you, and the man that's every man for you. You know, I have a couple of friends that stepped out and did some things that they thought was wonderful and great for the time. Let's say I have a friend that was 40 years old and she married a guy that was 70. He worked at a plant, retired, invested, had lots of money. And at first she wasn't going to date him, but eventually she did, because he never stopped pursuing her. And he pursued her with riches. When I say riches, every time he saw her, he would just do these just incredible things. She had a car that was running pretty good, whatever, and she'd always talk to him about wanting to drive a Mercedes. And he told her that if they ever got married, she would always drive a nice car, beautiful car, that she could have a car every year if she wanted to. And he would buy her Gucci's and Louis and all those things, even before they got into a relationship. And she fell for it. They eventually got married. And probably like a year and a half, they got married. And she'd always would tell me about this guy, about how nice he was to her, how much he was doing for her, but she really didn't like him that way. But with enough of that, that stuff that he was giving, whatever, she fell into that trap. So there she was after she got married. I can remember having these conversations about not being fulfilled intimately, and that, it just wasn't happening. She wasn't happy. She wasn't feeling good about it. Great guy and all that stuff, but he would go to bed early, or, he wanted to watch certain TV shows, and the things that she wanted to do, that places she wanted to go, some of that he didn't want to do. So she felt caged. So she started cheating. She stayed with the other guy, with her husband, but she cheated. She had to find somebody who could take her to the place that she wanted to go and do the things that she wanted to do and give her the loving that she needed. So I'm saying that to say this is that you have to be careful about these selections and about these people and these opportunities that you think that you have or will have. It's just like a 30-year-old marrying a 50-year-old. And that may not seem like a huge age difference or whatever, but when 30 becomes 50, 50 becomes 70. Or when 30 becomes 40 and 40 becomes 60, that is still a huge gap in the age difference. And people act differently at certain ages because what you want at 30 or the person that you are at 30, you are not that person at 40. You're not that person at 50, and you're not that person at 60, and neither are they. So unless you guys are evolving together, unless you guys are growing together on the same pace, the same level, not that there can't be an age difference, but how much of it does it have to be for you to truly say that you're willing to grow old with this person, knowing that things will change? Most women become sexually active at 50. They do. I mean, not that they're not having sex before that, but they really get into that peak around 50. And most men, by the time they get 50, they're ready to lay it down, or slow it down to some degree. Not everybody. That doesn't apply to everybody. But we're talking about on a larger scale, not just an immediate scale, but a larger scale. So even if the man is not 50, but 55 or 60, to the point where they're not willing to have sex 3 and 4 and 5 times a week like you want to, or fulfill and satisfy those needs, then what do? Do you suffer the loss? Do you find somebody to fill the void? Do you just take it as it is and wait and hope that one day they die and leave you all the riches and you can still have your young buck or whatever? So you have to really, really be mindful about all of this and not just see it one-sidedly. Because if you just see it about that and it's not holistic, it's not for real, this is not truly the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, you have to think long and hard about some of these decisions that you make and some of these opportunities that are in front of you and what they look like, not just today, but tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. Can you guys still be compatible? Can you still be marketable for each other? Are you still willing to give each other what they need in spite of the fact that there's an age difference or other kind of difference that would normally keep you apart? Are you willing to stay the course? Are you willing to see this through in spite of the fact that you're not happy, that you're not in love like you thought you were? Things gonna have to change. And they're gonna change so drastically that somebody's gonna get hurt, somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. What end of that spectrum do you want to be on? And if you're not really in it to win it, you might want to just do something different. Maybe not take it all away, but keep in touch, keep intact, handle your business for as long as you can handle it. And when things become to the degree that you can no longer pursue what you're doing, then at least you did not drag somebody across the threshold that you didn't have to go through just so that you could have Louis and Doonies and travels here, there's, and everywhere, and just enjoy what somebody was giving you or doing for you. Your relationships have to be more than about giving and receiving, but it has to be about not just surface things, but the things that are behind the scene, the things that are behind the doors, those things that really matter most. And this is, like I said, this is not a one-sided conversation. This goes for men and as much as it goes for women. We reach a point in life when we, especially for men, when we have to realize that we don't want to be in the streets for so long that we realize that by the time we do decide to get with somebody, we tired. We broke up and broke down, and now we're ready and willing to give somebody what's left of us, which is much or nothing, much of anything. So you end up with whatever you can get, whatever you can take at the moment, because I guess they like you or they love you for whatever left that you have. But really, in reality, you should want to be with someone while you still have some youth in you, while you still have some ambitions. You still want to go places and travel and do things and be loving and be kind and all those other things. You're not just waiting for somebody to change your diaper or to treat you medically or whatever those situations might be. That woman deserves the right to be with you when you're able to bounce around and take her places and do things and be happy and engaging about it. Same thing for women. You know, women get to the point that, you know, you've been with enough people enough times that you're just not willing to put out or give as much as you normally would have because this is maybe your second, third, fourth time around, whatever that looks like. You know how many people you've had in your life, and you know how sick and tired of being sick and tired you are, and how when you get to the point you feel like you've given all that you need to give in a relationship, you're just gonna sit back and just receive and let things happen. Please don't do that. Please don't. It is not going to end well for you. It is not. Ladies, guys, please don't just think about yourselves. Think about the other person as well. Think about what you're giving and willing to give. Women, think about what you're giving and what you're willing to give. That person that you want to be with or deciding to be with, they don't owe you any debts for any previous relationships that have wronged you, that have hurt you, that have sabotaged their love for you. None of those things should the debt be paid by these new people in your lives. They don't owe you that. And please don't charge them for that and make them pay for that. Love them for who they are. Accept them for who they are. Give them the best that you got, always. Because if you want the best from them, then they got to get it from you. You should know that giving is the same, and likewise receiving. Give what you want to receive back in return. Expect nothing that you're not willing to give or do. In all fairness and earnest, you have to be about them in as much as they are about you. It's a beautiful thing when somebody loves somebody and somebody loves them back. There is nothing greater than love it in itself. Just love. So listen, that's a lot to consider and a lot to think about as we pursue these relationships with these new people in our lives and what that picture looks like holistically, how we being honest with ourselves and being honest with them that we are ready, we are healed, we have thought about and we have considered what that picture looks like for each of us, and we want the best for each other. We are each other's best friends, and we love each other in such a way that we just want to do whatever they want to do and be wherever they want to be and just be in that same place and space regardless to what's on the table. But have that conversation, have that understanding, have that consideration for each other so that we know that we are like-minded and that we are in pursuit of the same things, and that we're passionate about each other and passionate about making each other happy regardless of what age we're at and what we're doing and what we got going on. Let it be for the real things, not just the surface things, but the things that are behind the materialistic stuff and those other things that really matter, that really make love works. Listen, let me hear from you. Please respond. Please like. Please share. Please subscribe. But more importantly, take life a little bit more seriously, especially when you bring other people into your world and into your space. It's not just about you, but it is about them as well. Thank you for your time and your attention. I look forward to hearing from you. And remember, especially those of you who are in new relationships, man, let me know how that's going. Let me know how that's working for you. Let me know how good love is when you thought love was all over. Take care.